And let's just get settled into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Have both feet. If your feet are down on the ground, just try and feel the weight, the sensation of your feet on the floor, whether they're in slippers or socks or barefooted. And then you may feel the back of the legs on your chair or your feet under your legs if you're sitting cross-legged. And then the weight of your hands in your lap. And then allow your shoulders to align with your hips and just lengthen your spine. And also your ears, align your ears with your shoulders. And then imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of their head and beyond. And then just from the crown of the head, just see if you can allow your scalp to relax and release. Then relax your forehead and eyes and nose and cheeks, area around the mouth, the back of the tongue, the jaw, the back of the head, the neck. Allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. Noticing the air as you inhale and exhale, the sensation of the air, the sensation of the body moving as you inhale and exhale. And be aware of any sound or distractions in your environment. So it could be a pet walking across your keyboard, sounds outside, notifications coming up on your phone or your screen. So see if you can mute whatever you can. And then if something does slip through, see to what extent your mind gets distracted and see if you can resist the temptation to sort of automatically go and check it out. And then just be aware of what's in your mind this evening, just allowing all the thoughts to be there, just allowing them to arise and abide. And then just release them, so rather than just following along with the story, which, there's little documentaries sometimes we create that are maybe not necessarily correct. And then think about our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't like, and remembering all these relationships are interchangeable. They're all equal, however, and that they all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. Just let that land for a minute. And this, this purification process is psychological. We create negativity with our mind. We can also create positivity instead. We start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this life, on this day, in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor. So not a higher power, not a God, not a savior, a doctor. Someone who has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves, to heal ourselves. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. And his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and for all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed, and those who have harmed us. So think of compassion is more like a wish for someone to be free from suffering. So think of people you may have harmed recently or in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time, and then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, taking the medicine, doing this practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming down out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. It keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapati Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajra mame mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, zipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. Next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, quite forcefully. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and any kind of lying or just not quite telling the truth, telling your version of the truth. And then, harming others by talking about them behind their back. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Tida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel really happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this fills your entire being. So, you imagine you walk into a room, it's pitch black, flick on that switch and the light comes. So it's really instant. So the same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, so instantaneously all the darkness of the negativity of your mind instantly gone. So depression, anxiety, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, dissatisfaction, all of this instantly dispelled. Not one atom left. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Juda Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone. And now think there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech and mind. So this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. So the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and blasts all the delusions. So this is happening all at the same time, as well as us reciting the mantra. So your visualization is a little more complicated in this one. So in this way, you're eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negativity from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And so without making a decision like this, we're probably just going to keep falling into the same old habits over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration becomes like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So just rejoice in your making an effort to come along tonight, and an effort to stay focused. So rejoice in your effort. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. And then imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light, and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my teacher's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same. So next, Lamsa Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. So you think in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's do our chanting the names of Manjushri. The best, the best of bodies, emanation body, the heir to emanations of the Buddhas, with varied emanations everywhere, while benefiting all, however needed. The sovereign of the gods, the god of gods, Azura Lord, the ruler of immortals, the king of deities, the god's guru, the highest lord of Paramata, emerged from cyclic life's imposing forest, the single teacher, guru for all beings, in every well-known world, in all directions, the eminent bestower of the Dhamma. All right, and just have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for a swift discovery of our precious Lamas at Rinpoche, and then for all of your own individual teachers to live long. And I want to thank everybody for the last week or two who've been helping me recite the mantra. It was very helpful, so thank you so much. So maybe every now and then somebody can recite if you feel brave enough, and that everyone gets to learn it. It was so nice to hear your voices, because I don't hear them often. Okay. All right, everybody, lots of love. Good night. I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. Thank you. Lovely to see you.